Alright, so I posted a picture of my pantry and fridge and asked on Facebook, I asked for people to make suggestions to do my own chop challenge. So here we go. I was given sour cream, dill pickles, which we have zesty garlic, and eggs. So let's see. I have an idea. We'll see if it works. Alright. Put that in the wrong bowl. Okay. I am taking the egg whites off the eggs. I think I'll do 3 eggs. No, I'll do 2 eggs. Alright, and then gotta wash your hands. Alright, so I'm gonna take a little bit of the sour cream. About 2 tablespoons, give or take a little bit. Put in the eggs. Put the yolks aside. I'm gonna pour a little bit. I'm gonna use some of the juice of the pickles. Oh my! I like the pickles. All right, I'm gonna take my mixer because it's what I have to use. Whip this up. As I get this ready, I'm going to turn on my pan to about medium. I forgot butter. I'm going to use some butter. Of course, it is cold in Colorado, so yes, I do have heat in the house. We just keep it cool. Alright. Gonna get the butter going in this pan. One more. Alright, let's see. Let me get... Probably should know what utensils you have before you start a challenge. You'll do. Alright, so butter's melting nicely. I'm going to whip these eggs. Mix the sour cream in and the pickle juice. Does not want to blend. Make it nice and frothy. I'm not going to break the bowl, at least I promise. I'm going to make fluffy eggs. I guess that's the theme of the day, fluffy. I don't know. I've seen this. Try it online as well. I don't know anything about it. Alright. That is mixed up. So there's my pan. There's some boiling water. I'm going to actually turn the boiling water down a little bit. I need to stay hot, but I don't need it quite that hot. Alright, and let me turn a little bit. Can I see the pan? Wait, where's my... Oh, there it is. Alright. So, butter is nice and hot. We're going to try out this fluffy egg thing. Maybe too thick. Okie dokie then. Alright, alright. So we're gonna let that set for a second. I'll move that in a minute. Let that cook. Let me turn the heat up just a little bit on that. While that's going on, I'm going to get some butter in the pan over here. Always use oil, but I like butter. Gives it a little more flavor. I'm going to heat that pan up with that butter while these eggs are cooking. Give it a little bit of a stir. Make sure it's not sticking, because this pan loves to stick, and of course it is. It's definitely making fluffy eggs. Pretty cool. Alright, I'm gonna actually turn that down a little bit. Let the eggs cook all the way through. And then the yolks, I'm going to let them cook in the water for a minute. Let them, oops, busted that one. See, while that's cooking, I'm going to, yeah, that'll work. Alright, my plate. I have some store-bought polenta. That's what this pan is for. Maybe I need to heat that up real quick. I cut off a couple half-inch pieces. I'm going to let those cook for a second. Oops. Why you should be better at multitasking than me. Alright. Oops, let that cook a little longer. I broke it. That was not supposed to happen. Alright. Let me scoot these eggs around a little bit. Now there's salt in the pickle juice, so I'm not going to pre-salt them in here, but I'll add a little pepper, and I'm going to actually add a little paprika, because my inspiration for this was deviled eggs, or as in my family we call them angel eggs. Probably should make sure you have all your supplies before you start cooking. Alright, little pepper. I actually like a different kind of paprika, but this works. Alright, gonna mix all the seasoning in. Turn that way down. I want them brown, I don't want them. Alright. These eggs are extremely soft because I put way too much pickle juice. Let me... Alright, we're going to Grab the eggs out of here. They're a little runny. Didn't quite cook how I thought they would, but that's okay. I just put a little too much ingredient in it. Turn that off. Oh, there's my spoon. Grab the yolks out of here. They're probably fully cooked now. That's alright. I wanted to, oh, nope, that one busted perfectly. Maybe not. Let's see. Ow, that hurts. I'm making this for myself, so I don't really care if I mix it up. If I was making this for a real competition, I would probably have bacon that was already thawed out and stuff like that. Anyways, let's try it. Well, it tastes like a pickle, that's for sure. Polenta gives it a good taste. Kind of tastes like a deviled egg. A little on the pickly side, but it's really good. Thanks, Grandma. Alright, so in the post I made on Facebook, someone else, Kimberly, commented and said, eggs, peanut butter, and Coke. And so what I'm going to attempt to do is a peanut butter stovetop cookie. There's a really good recipe I got when my friend Monica went or had to go gluten and dairy free. We always come up with, she always finds really good recipes, then I end up liking them. So that's where I'm basing this off of. I'm not going to use as much as we normally would because, well, it's just me. Normally it requires about a cup of peanut butter, 1 egg, and a half a cup of honey. No, sugar, not honey. I like to put honey in mine. I am going to try it with about half a cup of peanut butter. Probably going to have too much egg in it, but we'll see how it goes. All right. Woo, hello. Make sure there's no eggshells. That's not eggshell. All right. And the Coke. Sure. Probably about a 1/4 cup of Coke. Could be more, I don't know. Not very thick. Maybe we'll end up with a peanut butter mousse. Let's whip it for a few minutes and see. Okay, so to try to mousse it up a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. It doesn't need a lot because the Coke is already sweet. I'll put about a tablespoon in there. Probably gonna be really sweet, but that's okay. Okay, so I have like a batter here, which is not normally what it is. It's more usually of a cookie dough. But I've got a pan hot over here, so let's go over here. See if I can set this up here. All right. I have butter in my pan. Ow, it's hot. I've had it kind of going since I made the last video. I don't know what this is gonna make. We shall see. Could be peanut butter pancakes. I don't know. Alright. That's not sizzly enough for me. Alright. Turn the heat up a little bit. Smells like peanut butter. Maybe you need more Coke in it. Maybe I should cook it in Coke. Butter and I'm gonna make candied peanut butter things. As the liquid cooks out of the Coke, it'll candy the bottom of these, I guess. Guess we'll see. Probably should let that cook a little longer, but it's alright. So, this is what it looks like as of now. Let that cook for a minute. I'm going to put a lid on it and check back in a second. Alright, so I'm going to check what these look like. Well, they smell like peanut butter cookies. They're definitely going to stick. Please don't kill me, Aunt Lisa. Thumbprint and all. So, I'll let those cook for a minute. And then I will flip them. In the meantime, I'm going to try to reduce some of this Coke down to make like a syrup, because I think those are going to stick. So the second batch I'm going to make hopefully won't stick as bad. I'm going to just half a cup, quarter cup, I don't know. So I'm going to let that boil. In the process, I'm going to flip those. Actually, it's not sticking. I don't know if that's because of the butter or because of the soda, but I don't know. It may have weird, fluffy peanut butter pancake type things. Alright. So I flipped them, and this is what they look like. Like I said, peanut butter cookie pancakes, if that's a thing. Alright. The Coke is cooking. And be back in a sec. Okay, so I'm giving these another flip to kind of brown the other side because it got so wet from the soda or the Coke. I've learned one thing. When you travel, everybody calls this something else. I grew up calling all sodas Coke. Then I go up north and everybody calls it pop. Go out west, everybody calls this soda. So if you see me in the next year and I say Coke soda pop, just go with it. Just go with it. I'm kidding. I call it usually soda or Coke. I call it pop every once in a while, but that's usually if I've been around people who call it pop. I don't call it pop. I may call it soda pop, but I don't call it pop. Okay, so I'm going to say these ones are done, considering they're starting to burn. I'm not sure those are going to turn out very well. With using Coke instead of like regular sugar, it definitely made it into a wetter dough, so it makes it a little weird. The pan is still pretty good from the butter, so I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. Start a second batch. This is still reducing down. I'll be back. Okay, so I have this going. I did put a little butter in the bottom because I was really nervous about it sticking. Stay. I'm going to I turned the heat down a little bit so it didn't just completely burn the bottoms. I'm going to turn it back up about 1/2 degree on that. And I'm going to turn this Coke syrup up to about, well, high, so it'll can boil a little more, make it a little thicker. I'm gonna try this. I mean, it looks like a pancake. It tastes like a peanut butter cookie pancake. It's kind of weird. So if you've ever used that recipe of the peanut butter cookie I said, or I've ever had it from myself or my brother or Monica, then just imagine it's softer, and that's what that tastes like. Which is why I decided to make the syrup, because I wanted to taste the Coke a little bit more on these. I'm going to go ahead and turn that back up a little bit. I'm going to lid it again. Be back shortly. Alright, so took the lid off. I burned them. I can smell it. It's really strong. Ooh, they are black. Oops. These actually look so much better though. Here, before I can't believe I did that. So that's what the bottoms look like. This is how pretty they were before I decided to kill them. Well, that didn't take so long to video. That I probably could have saved them, but ooh. Well, as of right now, the first ones look better. Not really. Actually, I don't know. Man, how long do people take to reduce this? I've seen it done. I've just never done it. So I'm going to let these cook another second. I probably could have just turned the heat down, left the lid on, let them cook that way. At least they would have been pretty. Okay, yeah, I'm going to let these cook another minute. I already turned the heat off. The pan is hot, so that is what's cooking them right now. If I was really on this show chop, this is probably what would happen. I walked away. I said, ooh, pretty. Anyways, I'm gonna let this boil a little longer and then I'll be back. I'm gonna try to see if I can scrape something out of this to make like one more. We'll see. It'll be a mini one. Cook, little pancake, cook. So if I was to make this again, I would probably blend a little bit of sugar with eggs, then add just a little bit of Coke. I probably put too much Coke in these. And probably a little less peanut butter. And it would probably come out a little thicker. I'm going to go ahead and just burn these till I can't burn them no more, apparently. All the burn. But that's what happens when your pan's too hot. I mean, it don't look too bad. If like that was how it looked, I'd be like, yeah, I could do better. I'm gonna let this one cook a second, and I'll be back. Alright, so even with the burn, it's not actually terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead. I mean, if you can scrape some of it off, that's awesome. If not, I don't think it's gonna taste too bad. I've gotten this down to almost a quarter of the amount it was. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. I'm not gonna say it's any thicker. I'm sure once it cools it would be. I'm gonna pour it over the top of these. Just a little bit. Just enough to add that flavor. These things soaked it up. Like, I poured a good amount on there, and you can see they're kind of damp, but like, Coke syrup. Who would have thunk? And I'm gonna flip the little one. See, this is how they should have turned out. Oh well. Alright, so I'm gonna try this. People ask, what did you do during quarantine? I did the dishes because I decided to cook. Alright, so pretty soft from the syrup. The syrup isn't thick, so it just soaked in. I guess I need to review how to do that a little better. I feel like if it had thickened up a little more, maybe if I'd put the whole, see, now it's starting to get thick. Let me let this cool for a second. Okay, so I cooked the little one, the last little one, so I can try it not burn. You can kind of see that it's sticking a little better, so I'm gonna pour it. See, it kind of looks like syrup. If this had been a real chop challenge, I don't think I would have made it in the time amount this time. Okay. Letting that reduce. Not burning this. It's actually a really good combination. Thank you, Kimberly. And this has been fun.